Ciao guys, Wood here. So Google came out with an app on Steam VR called Welcome to the Light Field, and in this video I want to explain you why this technology is super promising and how, of course, this technology works. So be sure to check the app out. But before, why don't you check out all the other videos in the channel? So if you like what you see and you want to keep being updated about VR and tech in general, you can just click or tap the subscribe button and don't miss anything. That'd be super appreciated, will help a lot the channel, and really, that's it. But let's go back on topic and let's see how this technology works. So VR is not everywhere yet, and that creates a little problem because to create like a photorealistic environment now, what you have to do is to rely on like gaming engine, like Unity and Unreal Engine, but it's never gonna be like very photorealistic right now because you don't have enough computing power, or to rely like on super expensive cameras, drones and all other kind of equipment. Using this kind of equipment then with the gaming engine to recreate the environment, and then at that point you have something that is similar to a photo. But it takes a lot of effort, a lot of money, so it's not really something that many people are doing because it's just expensive. And going back to the beginning, because VR is not mainstream yet, it just doesn't worth the cost right now. So that's created a little problem. And you will say, yes, but I can do like a 360 picture even with my phone. Yes and no, and I'm gonna explain you why. In a camera, when you get a picture, you're gonna get all the lights to a single point and then create like, of course, the picture that then your phone or your camera, of course, is gonna like use to like show you what you got from all the light. But that picture is never gonna have a sense of depth because it's just on a single point, on a single sensor. And that, of course, is gonna give the immersion if it's a 360 picture, where actually are usually just two pictures, one from the side, one from the other, but without sense of depth. So you're not gonna be able to move inside this, but just to watch it from a single point. And that creates a problem because it's like when you look with just one eye, and to don't have any distortion or stuff, you should just move in the same axis of the single eye and not move at all, like to use the eye like a center. And that's the idea, that how the camera is gonna get the picture. So when you have an image in 360 and you're trying to see in VR this picture, what is gonna happen that when you move your head around, all the environment is gonna move with you. And that's the problem, because that's the main reason why people have motion sickness in VR. And that's because your movement in reality doesn't really relate to the movement in virtual reality. And that's getting created by, when you talk about VR experience, like video games, usually is like translating like hertz, how many refresh rate you have to have this translated perfectly. But in a picture will be simply that I'm watching something that is moving with you, with me, with my head around, and that's not normal. So how do you solve the problem? Put in the sense of depth, but that is gonna be expensive. So it's like a dog that tried to bite his own tail. And that's where Google came in with a super brilliant way. So what they did is just use 16 GoPros, so a pretty cheap and inexpensive camera overall, and mounted in an arch on a platform that spin around with a motor and a battery 360 degrees in around 30 seconds. And they said that you can do take even more for low light, so to catch even more light. And what that create, actually having 16 cameras in different direction, they're gonna get all the lights from different direction, and so from those rays of light you're gonna be able to understand not just the picture, but also from where those light come from, every single ray. So you're gonna be able to recreate perfectly what you're seeing, and having like infinite like kind of like focus, and having the sense of depth and sense of being there that we were seeking for. So what does it mean? That if I move my head around, everything around is gonna stay there. I'm just gonna change the point of view of what I'm seeing. And that sounds pretty easy, but actually it's not, because as you can see, actually asks for a lot of equipment. And also, when I'm gonna get closer, things are gonna get closer. When I go farther, things are gonna get farther. And that's called the motion paradox. And something that simply Google solved with this technology, using this camera and created this thing without anything super expensive. And of course they made an app, so we're gonna be able to see it. This app has still some flaws, of course, it's not perfect, but still we're gonna be able to be finally in a like in a real photo, so everything is gonna look so credible, but in VR. So let's jump together, of course in VR, and let's see together what's all about. Okay, here we are on Welcome to the Light Field, brought to you by Google VR, of course. And this is what we're talking about. Now, this is just created probably with a gaming engine, or they just made black and white this environment. But let's go on gallery to see how it works. So we have different pictures taken by Google, and we're gonna be able to just click on it and explore. So let's go like in this living room to start in the first one, and wow, you can see like this is what we're talking about. So everything is like just look like perfect. Like all the shadows are in place, in the right place, and as you can see we have to kind of stay in the middle. We can move our neck without problem, but when we get a little too far it blacks out. That's because there's no more information by the cameras in that position, because the arch is gonna cover till there. And it's a kind of a bummer because you will like to explore more, but you're not really be able to do it. But looks at the environment. It's also very nice how the shadow just react in the right way. Usually when stereoscopical view we have distortion with the shadows, and doesn't happen here. Also, like the application that is gonna open this thing are amazing. Like here we are in a museum, and as you can see you can be in a museum even if you're not there. So that's amazing. Look at details of everything. Look at the light there. It's just everything looks like it should. It's very, very, very nice looking. Look at that. The shuttle, let's get inside the shuttle, because why not? We can in the discovery. And let's go to the cockpit. Here I think there's the more details. Okay, look at this thing. Like imagine to create something like that in a gaming engine, to do all the little switches and stuff, like the Velcro over here, like all these details will be just crazy. Look at the details of the sitting belt, and like everything is just perfect, because this is actually a picture and just translate it. And I get closer, things get closer, get farther, things get farther. And look at the reflection in there. They're just moving in the perfect way, and this is amazing. We have some distortion on top where all the cameras goes together, something that probably can fix with another camera on top. But wow, this is insane. I just would like to go there, but then it blacks out, so it's not perfect still, but amazing. Let's see another one. This is very creepy actually. And look at this picture. These people. That's pretty creepy, but still the idea, like I think the sense of scale is a little off over here. They feel a little too small, these people, but God, like the details is amazing. Look at that. This guy was looking at me. This is my hand. And yeah, so you can just have fun, like trying to like explore all this environment. There's also like a story mode, let's call it, like a gallery when they're gonna explain you everything. And look at this. Wow, did you see this? So you can see all the GoPros all over there, and here the reflection is a little off, but I think that we're showing you this just to be aware of like how the technology work. And this is exactly the platform, and like even in this relatively small space you just need a tripod and put it on. Another GoPro there, over there. And yeah, that's it. This is it. I'm not gonna spoil much with all the picture. Like, look at that. I'm not gonna spoil much with all the pictures, so let's go back and let's talk about it. Wow, okay, that was the experience. I feel like it was pretty nice. Like the level of details is just on point. It's just amazing. Like you really feel there. The only problem is, like as I said, is the fact that you don't have so much area where to move in, and when you see something like that you just want to explore and you're not really be able to do it right now. By the way, this is like the step in the right direction for sure. Is the first try. And the fact that a big company like Google is coming in with like a pretty inexpensive way to create this kind of experience just create a lot of possibility and like your mind going. Like imagine something like that using Street View instead of having those awful like 360 photos, being able to have something like that and being able to go around the world on the streets and see exactly like it look like, and moving even like if moving a little more, and have that sense of immersion that Google View is lacking now. Now the technology is not there yet. You can't do video yet because of course there are not many cameras, and the spinning, if you want to do a 30 frame per second image, they will have to spin 30 times a second around, and that's pretty fast. But still, that's the first application for something that is like creating a lot of possibility for different experience. Like imagine you can't really travel because of disability, you're gonna be able to go around, see a museum in details, and try like to get like in the shuttle like there, something that even if you go to the museum usually you can't do, and be able to see in that level of details what's inside is just amazing. Great, really a lot of immersion. Anyway, it's also great that Google released that for all the platforms like Oculus, Steam, and Windows Mixed Reality too, because it means that it really wants to make broad their technology, and it's not something like, oh no, it's just on Vive or just on Oculus or just on Windows Mixed Reality, but everyone can really try it. So like download the app, don't worry at all, it's free and it's just a little experience, but really worth every single second. Anyway guys, if you liked the video, like. If you didn't like the video, dislike. Let me know in the comment below what you think about it, what you think about this technology, how would you use it. And talking about tracking, there's also the thing that now we're gonna try in the next video to use the Kinect. That was another important thing for tracking that was discontinued, to create body tracking. So let's follow all together in 3 steps in the next videos, and if you want to see it, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. Thanks so much for watching, see you guys in the next video. Ciao!